Hi everyone, today I have Richard Woods from The Apprentice.
Hello.
Today we're going to be discussing Richard's motivational tips, what he would have said to his younger self, how he found his time on The Apprentice, and lots of other things. So keep watching.
Keep watching. Awesome.
Okay, hi Richard.
Hello, thank you
How's
so
everything
much.
going?
Very good, very good. It's a great show so far.
Yeah, it's great to be speaking with you.
Yeah, of course.
alongside.
This is our second time I think we spoke at one of these shows.
Third, I think. Were you not at the
Really?
first one?
The first one being
Windsor.
yes, I was it. There you go. So it's good. It's trade shows. I always think going to trade shows and going to talking gigs, and if you can get those sort of things, it's great for branding, thought leadership, and just being able to get your message out there. And of course, having a stand that looks as wonderful as yours as well is always useful.
Oh, thank you. Well, you've got your nice backdrop, haven't you?
Yeah, of course. So the thing is, when you're selling a physical product, you've got something tangible, which is great. Whereas trying to do a trade show stand that shows lead generation is also quite interesting. So I think if anybody's got those, like if you're an accountant, if you're a solicitor or anything, and you go into a show, I think you just try and go for just big visual impact and make people stop, and then you grab them and just have a conversation with them. That's the most important thing.
Okay, well, what would be your 3 top tips that you would have said to your younger self?
So, 3 top tips for younger self is be more patient. You know, I was so unbelievably desperate to become a millionaire by the time I was 30 that I was just trying so hard, trying so frantically, and I got myself into rucks with people. My brother and I own the business outright, my younger brother, and so I'd always be sort of shouting and blaming. You just become so impatient. So just calm down, relax, it will happen. And as soon as that happens, then it will start going my way. And of course, going on the show and all the rest of it was part of that. Also, so 3 top tips. So 1 is cash is king. Just worry about the money. Like there's an all point you can look at your accounts and just do invoice, and you can be looking at your net profit and go, oh, I've got lots of net profit. But if nobody's actually transferring money into your business, then you're stuck. So I would look at things like getting people, for a service sector business like I am, get people onto retainers that pay direct debits, because then you can actually rely on all that money coming in all the time, and it just systemises your business out properly. So that's really important. Just worry about the cash, because otherwise you don't have a business. If the money's not coming in, you don't have a business. And you must know that when you're having to produce and create stuff and the rest of it,
It's true, and you have to wait for example, with supermarkets, you have to wait 90 days to 120 sometimes, so it's crazy.
And if you are in that position, then understanding the models that are put around you, so you could invoice discount that, you could take the cash out front, so money's a transient thing. You just got to be the person that keeps it the longest, and that's what the supermarkets do really well. But as a supplier, you can then use banks and lending facilities to be able to work that through. So
PayPal had an amazing model, didn't they? They literally hold people's money, earn the interest on it, and then pay it out when they want.
yeah, exactly.
So it's fantastic. But I just wanted to know, you started your business obviously very young as well. As a young entrepreneur, what was the main challenge that you faced? Obviously you said cash, but there must have been other struggles. I know you had your brother, but obviously you argued and things. I always felt lonely as an entrepreneur, and trying to find different entrepreneurs to network with was a big key thing for me.
Yeah, I think when you set up a business, I set up a business straight out of university. I did a business entrepreneurship degree, went out to India and China with a whole sketchbook full of ideas of products that I wanted to make and create, got them all made, brought them back to the UK, and was up and down the high street like Del Boy Trotter trying to sell things, and literally just go into a shop with a suitcase, open it up and go, here's my product, would you like to buy it? And so that was great fun, but the problem is when you start getting people say, get out, I don't want a door-to-door salesman, or it looks crap, or this will never work, and the doubters, the haters go, oh, this will never work, and the rest of it, that's when you start going, oh. And my brother wasn't part of the business then, it was just me at the time, when I first set up, and so that's when you get really stuck in the mud, like you were saying. So things like, I know that you know Brad Burton from 4 Networking, so I went to 4 Networking, and then suddenly you have like this network of people that you can go and say, I've got this problem, could you help me with that, I've got that issue. I also started blogging, and blogging helped me put my mind and my thoughts into a piece of content and then push it out that through doing that research and understanding what I was all about, helped me almost, it's like a therapy. You get what's in your head out and you blog it out, and then people read it and go, oh, I really like that, or I can help you with that sort of stuff. And then the social media and stuff, you build a network through that. But the biggest thing that I did was to get a mentor. In fact, I've had a couple of mentors. So true. And so there's a guy who's our current mentor, who's Daniel Priestley, who wrote the Key Person of Influence, the Entrepreneur Revolution, and he's a real successful go-getting entrepreneur. I'll introduce you to him. He's a great guy, and he's revolutionised how I just think about things and think about growth, and don't think as a UK business, think as a global small business, and understand that there's markets out there that are untapped that like British products, like British culture, like lovely, stuff like this. This is universal. People can eat this wherever.
People need it.
People need to eat, and so people need marketing. People need to spread the message, and so. Because we, really, what's our niche? We can do English-speaking countries is probably what I'm most comfortable with, and so there's so many of those around the globe. That's what really has got me to think more globally now. When we're looking at setting up in Australia and what have you. So
that must be really exciting in Australia next. We're looking at hitting Australia as well, surprisingly. It's crazy how advanced their market actually is as well. And that brings me on to my next question actually with export. Do you advise entrepreneurs to get into export a lot earlier? Because obviously in the UK, a lot of entrepreneurs say, yes, get your model right here first. But if they don't start exporting early enough, will they not miss the boat?
So my next book, so I published Digital Trailblazer in the last year, went to bestseller on Amazon, which is brilliant. And so writing a book is such a great way of getting all your ideas down and thoughts. And so my next book is called Brexitpreneurship. So it's the idea of entrepreneurs taking ourselves through Brexit, and it's going to be coming out this Christmas. And in that, I talk about how we might suddenly find ourselves in a free trade agreement with Australia, with New Zealand, with South Africa, with the Commonwealth, because that's the trade-off. You can guarantee that now, since we Brexited, there's negotiations happening between those English-speaking countries right this second. So before you know it, you might find the ability to sell something to us easier than to actually sell something to France. And you need to think about how that could actually help your business. So I would encourage people to think about that. If you've got something you can hold in your hand, it's a lot easier to be able to actually think about export. If you've got a service, you want to be able to think, you'd have to get people on the ground to be able to deliver it unless it's an online service. And if you're an online service, you're global anyway. Nobody should think, if you can sell something online, you're a global business. You should never ever think. The only category that is a problem is language, and that's the only thing. Other than that, you are a global business. So
you can adapt anyway with online.
And you don't, you sell on, do you sell on Amazon?
We sell on Amazon and online.
You're a global business. People can buy your stuff wherever they want. It's just they make the decision, the fact that they want it delivered to out of Mongolia, that's their decision, so you are already there. So I think it's more of a case of not encouraging people to go and be exporters. It's helping people understand they already are. And that's the way of doing it.
And do you find that Brexit's actually helped your business, or...?
Brexit won't have helped anybody's businesses yet, because it's probably unhelped a lot of people. The only thing it's done is actually caused problems now, because the market, people got really tight in the property sector, people were worried about finance, people sort of seized up. And what going through Brexit will help is that suddenly we have all these opportunities that will happen at the back of it. I voted to remain, and as a business owner I thought it would be a lot better for us politically and export-wise and the rest of it. However, through writing the book, I'm suddenly realising there is a lot of people out there that want importation and want to have a bit of Britain, and brand Britain's really important for a lot of the globe, and people know that Europe is such an important place, and the fact that we're positioned nicely in Europe in the north of the hemisphere can make us a global HQ. And I think the UK, where Singapore sort of southern hemisphere, you go through Singapore, what have you, and it's its own little country, its own. I think the UK, and particularly London, could become the global HQ. And so I think it's almost unshackling ourselves from a European isolationism. We're unshackling ourselves to be the place to go globally as the headquarters. So, what does that mean for small businesses? Shitloads of opportunity. Sorry, I swear. Lots of opportunity. And probably the good times will come quicker than we think. A bit of a roundabout way of rambling. So it will be good. The economy's going to go this. Don't panic. because we'll come out the other side stronger.
It's true, because I was very worried because of the whole exchange rate. We get into products from Peru, Hawaii, and the dollar just plummeted. But it is gaining ground. It's not as bad as it was predicted. When the whole business isn't shutting down, the way the newspapers predicted it just didn't happen that way. Obviously, there has been problems, but I think we're on the way up, and I think it's opened doors for us in the US as well, which wouldn't have opened. It would have taken a lot longer to get trade deals with them because the EU did sort of hinder that in a way.
What you want to be thinking about as well is that the dollar the pound against the dollar again will plummet around about Christmas time when Article 51 gets published. So that will happen.
Yeah.
So if you can buy dollars, if you've got any
Forward
kitty,
trades,
you
yeah.
can forward trade, and almost see if you can pre-order a load of stock as well around about the end of October, beginning of November, because then when Article 51 gets done at Christmas, you've already secured the price, and that works well. So you can understand the markets and how it's going to work. The markets are predictable because it's humans, and humans get scared, and so everybody got scared, and that's why we plummeted. So I understand that will happen again, and then at the end of the year, and then in 2 years' time when we actually exit again, it will happen again, but there'll be confidence midway, and then it will push on. But it is going to be 7 years. From the start of that to the end, it's going to be 7 years. And unfortunately, for someone like you, and particularly someone like me, whereas I'm 33 now, and so this is my empire building years. For the sort of 30s into 40s is where you build an empire. 40s is when you make that empire really sort of systemize and work without you, and then you retire as an entrepreneur. So I'm screwed in the empire building years. So it's going to be tough. But wherever there's a problem, there's opportunity. You just have to be nimble enough to take it.
I know some of the biggest businesses came out of the recession at the end of the day, and they said that was the best time to build a business because you built it in the worst period, and that means it's smooth sailing when you get out there. That's the whole point. I'm going to have to ask you about your time on The Apprentice, as you are famous for it.
Yes, yeah.
So for me, I loved you all the way through. You were doing well every week, and you obviously knew you were doing quite well every week because you were getting a lot of praise. But you were quite quiet in the early weeks as well. Is there a reason why you did not speak up as much?
I mean, you remember I was project manager week 2, so that was tough because obviously everybody's trying to, and it was an all-male team as well. So when there's quiet as well, you've got there's 18 candidates, there's 18 mini stories to be able to tell, so they've got to be able to do it. And week 2, I had to work upon this mass of guys just trying to have basically an ego competition, and so I was trying to just angle that in the right way, and ultimately Lord Sugar said it was the best marketing cast he'd ever seen in The Apprentice, which I was delighted about as a marketeer to be able to run that. So after that, I then thought, right, I can let these guys hit it out because there's a lot of people under pressure, and I'm the least under pressure, so I let it run out. And I just sold stuff and kept on winning tasks, and my skill was to angle the project, to sit with the project manager and say, listen, we really should be going this way, because what if you go that way, you're going to mess up here, here, and here, and so off the back of that, I've won more tasks than anybody's ever won on The Apprentice. So I only lost one task in the whole series.
Do you think that taught you about leadership as well?
No, because what it meant is that it taught me that I'm not able to let someone else lead, and so that actually probably taught me a lot about me not being able to let go. And as an entrepreneur, I've never been in a proper job, so that whole needing to just let go a bit more is what I've actually come out the back and realised, that I am a bit of a leadership control freak, and if I'm not in charge, I'm not happy. So that's great in some ways because I make the rules of my business, but it's not great when you go to something like The Apprentice, where sometimes you have to be you can't always be the chief, you've got to be an Indian, and so I have to learn to be a better Indian, basically.
Well, thank you very much for your time today, and this will be going up on our podcast and our YouTube channel.
Download now and subscribe
And
now.
make sure you get Richard's new book when it comes out at Christmas.
Brexitpreneurship, and also Digital Trailblazers on Amazon. Check it out.